विकिरालकुलाम्भोधिविधुमानन्दरूपिणम् अनन्तार्यतनोजातं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। आराध्नमो यतीन्द्रश्रीपदाब्जे सत्त्वसिद्धये यद्रजोले सविक्षिप्तं समस्तं चरजस्तमः। सीतारामयतीन्द्रश्रीभाववाङ्मयबोधकं सहस्रमुखसन्दीप्तं श्रीलक्ष्मणयतिं भजे. So yesterday we have started study of life and teachings of Pythagoras.
Вчера мы начали изучение жизни Пифагора.
For a person who want to practice spirituality,
Человек, который хочет практиковать духовные вещи,
it is very important to study lives of saints,
очень важно изучать жизнь святых,
because in scriptures we will have many instructions.
потому что в Писаниях мы можем найти очень много инструкций,
Speak truth,
которые говорят истину.
follow the law.
Они говорят, говори правду, следуй закону.
Like this, there are thousands of instructions given in books.
И вот эти два это примеры таких инструкций, которые даны в этих книгах.
If the books are useful by themselves,
И если мы используем книги, если они нам важны,
there is no need of these many spiritual masters taking incarnation and teaching again and again.
если бы книги так были важны, то тогда не было бы необходимости в том, чтобы так много мастеров все время приходило, получало реинкарнацию здесь в жизни.
So this wisdom in the books has a limited purpose.
Поэтому мудрость, которая описана в книге, она имеет несколько ограниченную цель.
It has its own purpose.
У нее на самом деле есть своя цель.
We are advised to read scriptures daily,
И мы советуем всем нам читать вот эти писания каждый день,
but it is also important
но также очень важно
to read lives of masters.
читать книги о жизни мастеров.
So when we are reading biography of these masters,
Когда мы читаем биографию этих мастеров,
we will know how to apply these principles in daily life.
нам становится более понятно, как применять вот эти принципы, написанные в книгах, в нашей жизни.
Otherwise, all these principles will be only in the abstract level.
В другом случае вот эти принципы, они находились бы только на абстрактном уровне.
So with infinite love towards us,
И с бесконечной любовью к нам,
even though they are ascended at a highly spiritual level,
даже если они находятся, живут на очень высоком уровне,
they descend onto physical plane
они все равно приходят сюда, на этот физический план,
and they teach us by example how to behave,
и учат нас своим примером, как нужно жить,
how to face situations in daily life.
как проходить ситуации в нашей повседневной жизни.
So it will be more easy for us.
И это становится, наблюдая за ними, нам становится более легко.
So it is equally important to read life of some great person also daily.
И поэтому также важно читать о жизни мастеров тоже каждый день.
So there is a sage called Veda Vyasa.
И есть такой святой, которого зовут Веда.
I think many of you know
Я думаю,
his
что
name.
многие из вас помнят,
He has written 18 Puranas
он написал 18 Пуран.
and he has written Brahma Sutras
И также он написал Брахма-сутры,
that will explain about the highest consciousness level.
которые объясняют вот этот план высокого сознания.
So after writing all these,
После того, как он написал все это,
and Veda Vyasa is one person who compiled these Vedas into 4 parts.
вот эти были написаны, и затем Веда Вьяса, он вот этот написанный текст, он разместил на 4 группы.
According to the application of the text, he has compiled them into 4 parts.
В соответствии с применением текста, вот этот общий текст был разбит на 4
And he initiated a group of disciples into each part.
И
So after doing all this work, still he felt very unsatisfied. So at that time Narada came to Vyasa and he asked Vyasa to write lives of bhaktas, devotees. So he told Vedavyasa, it is more important to give life of devotees than many books that prescribe only laws. So after initiation of Narada, Vedavyasa has started writing Bhagavata Purana, so that it will be useful for common people to apply in their daily life with examples from lives of devotees. So whoever it is, it may be from the sages, devotees may be from India or from other countries. So whenever we are studying about lives of devotees, it can be called Bhagavata. Pythagoras is one of those great sages whom we are talking about. So yesterday we have started about this. I wanted to give few more details about his birth. So the source from where I am reading about the life of Pythagoras, the first one is Lectures of Master E.K. It is published as a small booklet, Wisdom of Pythagoras. And the second one is this book on the table. The name of the book is Secret Teachings of All Ages. So it is written by a great person called M.P. Hall, Manly P. Hall. Secret. He wanted to give this secret to everybody. Manly P. Hall, Manly Palmer Hall. Clemens Palmer. He has given many great books on occult anatomy and Freemasonry. There is and about symbolism of man. So this book he has written at the age of 26. No, 26. So this contains wisdom from all the ancient religions. Symbolism of zodiac, symbolism of man, life of Pythagoras, his teachings, and his teachings about numbers,
и также его учение о цифрах,
many others,
и много другого.
about symbolism of plants, animals,
Символизм растений, символизм животных,
pyramids.
пирамид.
So it is like an encyclopedia.
Это похоже на энциклопедию.
The other one is
И другая книга, которую он использовал для составления своих лекций, предыдущая книга «Российская».
it is a book by a person called Edward. Edward. Pythagoras and Delphic Mysteries. Delphic is a name of place.
Значит, Пифагор и мистерия вот этого Делфа.
Delphi is the name of place.
Дельфи – это название места. То есть Пифагор и мистерия. Написано это ниже имя написано.
So, okay. Edward Skewer. Edward Skewer. I don't know the nationality of author. Yes. Yes. And you can find reference to works of Pythagoras in Isis Unveiled and Secret Doctrine also.
И также в секретах
Isis Unveiled,
доктрине тоже упоминается о Пифагоре.
there will be hundreds of references to Pythagoras' work.
И там тоже есть сотни страниц, которые ссылаются на работу Пифагора.
So I think some of you have read it.
Я думаю, что некоторые из вас читали. Что в данной доктрине тоже есть сотни ссылок на работы Пифагора. Скажите, пожалуйста, а есть это на русском языке? Где у нас?
Maybe master will teach us in future.
Пани Бабо сказал, что нам Кришна, нас мастер будет учить нас тайной доктрине. Это методичка в тайной доктрине.
So yesterday we are studying about birth of Pythagoras. So initially they were in city called Samos in Greece.
Сейчас мы вспомним, вчера вы сказали, что Пифагор родился в Греции, в городе Сам,
Samos. This is in Greece.
в греческом городе Самос.
So from this place his parents traveled to a city called Delphi.
И затем из
His father is a businessman.
Его отец был человек бизнеса,
So this Delphi is now this is in Syria.
а сейчас Дельфи находится в Сирии.
So after they finished their business,
После того, как он завершил свой бизнес,
they went to consult Oracle. Oracle means
они переехали
he gives good suggestions to people. It is like a religious head.
после того, как он завершил свой бизнес, они отправились в какое-то место, где можно было
So they went to ask suggestion of Oracle. When can they travel back?
И они спросили такой вопрос, когда они могут вернуться назад.
So that travel will be good.
Когда спросили такой совет, когда хорошо путешествовать, в какой день выбрать для того, чтобы вернуться назад.
But that Oracle did not answer this question.
Но вот этот вот мудрец или предсказатель не ответил на этот вопрос.
So he told, your wife is carrying a son in her womb,
И он сказал, что ваша жена, она сейчас носит ребенка в своем чреве.
and he is destined to surpass all men in beauty and wisdom.
И он родится для того, чтобы нести самую мудрость людям.
And he will be of great help to mankind,
И он будет великим помощником человечеству,
showing the path of light.
который будет показывать путь света.
So the parents are very happy,
И родители очень обрадовались.
and she gave birth to a son,
И они остались вот в этом городе и родили там ребенка.
just like how Oracle has predicted.
То, как и все произошло так, как вот этот предсказатель предсказал.
And then so he gives comparison between Pythagoras and Jesus.
И он провел такой параллель между Пифагором и Иисусом.
Many people did not consider him a mortal man, Pythagoras. They believed that God has descended into human form like Pythagoras in the time he was living. They considered him one of the gods. So Pythagoras and Jesus, they are both born away from home when their parents are traveling. Just like Joseph is informed that a son will be born. So it is predicted that Jesus will be born to Joseph by angels. Jesus. Before Jesus is born, it is predicted that Jesus will be born to them. And similarly, Oracle has predicted that a person of high wisdom will be born to his parents. And both are said to be immaculate conception. Immaculate means without physical contact. And both are known by the title Son of God. So Pythagoras lived for almost 100 years. Nobody knows exactly what is the year of his death when he left his body. So then Pythagoras has grown up into a good boy, and he is very calm. He used to speak very less. Only meaningful words he used to speak. And then yesterday yesterday we say he went to Egypt,
И вчера мы с вами упомянули, что в какой-то момент он отправился в Египет,
and there he faced many difficulties to enter the wisdom temples there,
и там он столкнулся со многими трудностями, прежде чем попасть в этот храм мудрости.
because they are very careful to impart wisdom.
Потому что в то время очень бережно относились к сохранению мудрости.
They used to give only to selected people
И мудрости обучали только избранных,
who are selfless
у которых не было эгоизма,
and whose only motive is to help others.
давали мудрость только бескорыстным людям, у которых единственный мотив являлось помочь другим.
So after Pythagoras passed all their tests,
И после того, как Пифагор прошел все тесты,
so they poured out their wisdom. They poured out their wisdom to Pythagoras.
тогда вся мудрость была передана Пифагору в утешение.
So from Egypt he traveled to Central Asia,
И затем из Египта он отправился в Центральную Азию,
Babylonia, Chaldea,
Вавилонию, Вавилонию,
and then he traveled to India,
и затем он отправился
and here he is initiated into Brahma Vidya. It is said that he studied near the caves of Elephanta and Ellora. Yeah, this is the place, Elephanta and Ellora caves. Brahma Vidya means nothing but science of expansion of consciousness. He has extraordinary strength of soul because he has to face many tests and impersonal passion for wisdom. So the sciences he studied: mathematics, geometry, he has studied them in the higher sense. Astronomy, astrology, astromedicine, and astropsychology. And he studied correspondence between, like you are studying correspondence between zodiac and constitution. Planetary influences on human body, influence of constellations, and more important thing is science of symbolism. And science of numbers. And also music. Music. You can see in The Secret Doctrine, Madame Blavatsky says mathematics is the only perfect science existing.
В тайной доктрине мадам Блаватская сказала, что единственная истинная наука – это математика.
So now
Идеальная наука, которая сейчас существует, это математика.
Now, in the name of Pythagoras, we are studying only one theorem in this subject, geometry.
Но сегодня мы знаем только о том, что то есть Пифагор известен в основном в геометрии,
Except this, nothing is taught in schools.
а все остальное ничего не изучается в школе.
If you remember, in Russia and Ukraine this year, we studied one symbol given by Pythagoras.
Возможно, вы помните, что и в России, и в Украине мы изучали символы, которые давал
Pythagorean decade. So in those days,
И сегодня
they used to teach these sciences as in a synthetic manner.
мы пытаемся изучать эти науки в такой синтетической манере.
The interrelation between all the
В те времена эти науки
Тогда.
изучались в синтетической манере,
but now it is only analytical manner.
а сейчас только в аналитической манере.
So each subject is separate.
И сейчас все эти дисциплины, они разделены.
Just like when we go to hospital, there will be a heart specialist. There will.
Таким же образом, как если мы с вами пойдем в поликлинику, в госпиталь, то будет специалист по сердцу, специалист по
So he will give.
А тогда вот эти все науки изучались как бы в едином целом.
He will give medicine only to one part.
И сейчас нам лечат, дают препараты только для одной части нашей.
If there is side effect on any other part, he is not concerned.
А если есть какие-то нарушения в других частях, то вот этот специалист, он о них ничего не знает.
He wants only his part to be safe.
Он будет изучать только ту часть, в которой он разбирается.
But in olden days, depending upon the capability of student,
В зависимости от способностей учеников,
they used to teach science of man.
они изучали науку человека.
So application of sciences
И вот они применяли вот эти науки
for evolution of consciousness.
для эволюции сознания.
So if you read a treatise on medicine given by Hippocrates,
И если мы прочитаем книжку, которую написал Гиппократ,
Hippocrates, you know Hippocrates, he is treatise on medicine. Treatise on medicine. Treatise means in that you will find the science of correspondences, what you are studying in astrology class.
мы найдем там описание таких дисциплин, которые мы сейчас с вами изучаем на астрологии.
Hippocrates is considered as father of modern medicine.
И Гиппократа считают отцом современной медицины.
So in that he has given relationship between zodiac and human constitution.
И он давал взаимоотношения человека
Fun-
созвездий, какое влияние оказывает созвездие планеты на конституцию человека.
How the human constitution is working in correspondence with the cosmos.
И каким образом человеческая конституция работает в соответствии с космосом.
But these sciences are now not taught
Но, к сожалению, сейчас вот эти вот
in school
науки не изучаются.
in school of medicine. They keep only a small idol of Hippocrates. But ideals of Hippocrates are not followed. So first one is idol means figure. So they keep figure of Hippocrates, but they don't follow what he said. it okay or should I repeat again? Same. So after he finished his studies in India,
После того, как Гиппократ закончил свое обучение в Индии, Пифагор закончил свое обучение в Индии,
he is given a title Pita Guru. Huh? His title. After he finished his studies in India, he is given a title by his teachers. The title is Pita Guru.
После того, как Пифагор закончил свое обучение в Индии, ему присвоили титул Пита-гуру.
So that became Pythagoras.
Он стал Пифагором. Пифагор. Вот этот Пита-гуру превратился в Пифагора.
So this Pytha means
Вот это Пайта.
International Center of Learning. Center of Learning. Because he has studied both from East and West. So he studied mysteries of Egypt, Chaldea, Babylonia in the West. And yes. And he has also studied in the East. So he kept on studying in one country after other. And he earned a lot of wisdom. So the teachers gave him this title. That reflects all the work done by him. And then they asked him to go back to his country and spread the wisdom he has received. Okay. So Pythagoras is the first person who coined this word philosopher. What is the meaning? One who is attempting to find out. One who is attempting. Attempt means to try. Attempting means to try. Attempting to find out truth. So he is the first person to use this word. So then he reached his home city. And people received him. So They have put garlands, they have made a big road show. They told Pythagoras is very great. But this is not what Pythagoras wanted. He wanted to find a good person to whom he can transmit this wisdom. But he found people only who appreciate him. And who had fancy to tell, I know Pythagoras, I know him very well, like this. See, generally that is what happens with great people. We try to idolize them and we try to worship them. Idolize means but very few people try to follow them. See, what is easy? If you put garland to master EK photo, it is very easy. But how about following what he said? So giving a garland is that is also correct, but we have to follow also. They try to help people who follow. Simply if we put a garland and then behave according to our wish, that is not respecting masters. So generally what we say, they are masters, they are great people, that's why they could do like that. But I am an ordinary person, how can I do? You did not understand. First, generally what we do is, we respect them, we bow down to them. You are very great. But how can I follow? Because you are great, you have done like that. I am a very small person, so I cannot do. Like that, we try to deviate from the path. Because of our laziness and because we try to be in our safe zone. Safe. Because we want to respect him, but we don't want to follow him. We are not ready to follow. So like this, Pythagoras is also very much unsatisfied. Already he reached middle age. By the time he completed all these studies and reached Greece, he almost reached 50 years. So, but Pythagoras did not teach to every person who came to him. Because there is no point in teaching to everyone. When the container has no holes, if you pour something into it, it can retain. Suppose it has a hole. You keep pouring inside and it goes out. I think maybe Vasudeva can translate. Is it okay or? So there is no point in pouring something into a container which has a hole. So he is searching for good containers. So that's why in ancient times, when somebody comes to ashram as a disciple, first the guru used to give small organizational works like cleaning. So he used to observe the student, and then he initiates into the science in which he can fit in. But now it is completely different. There will be 100 students and same thing will be taught to them. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will tell. So first Pythagoras used to sit behind a curtain. He never used to meet people directly. Suppose if you are a new person coming to the ashram of Pythagoras, he never used to meet directly. Okay? There used to be a curtain between student and Pythagoras. So student used to sit that side and he used to answer from here. And he never used to teach in direct sentences. He used to teach in allegories. You know what do you mean by allegories? Okay. So after testing students for few years, then only he used to teach spiritual wisdom. So I will tell about one disciple of Pythagoras. So once he went to see some games. Playing. People are playing games, he went to see. So then there he liked one person who is playing very attentively. He is playing with very good passion. So he identified that this person suits to receive spiritual wisdom. So then after the game is completed, he called that student and then he told, I wanted to teach spiritual wisdom. Would you like to come to my school? So he said, no master, I can't come. And he asked why. Because I am a very poor person. I have to earn my daily bread. Otherwise, okay. So if I keep learning spiritual wisdom, who will feed me? Then Master Pythagoras told, I will feed you. I will give you clothes. I will give you food. I will give you place to sleep. You please come and learn. Then reluctant, then he thought, okay, I will get food and clothes, everything without working. I will go and join that school. Because that time he doesn't have any interest in spiritual subjects. So finally he joined in school of Pythagoras. Then Pythagoras, after learning one lesson, he used to give some money. After completing second lesson, again he will give money. And he is very happy. So see how difficult it is to find a student for him. He used to pay and teach. He used to pay a student and teach him. No, Pythagoras is paying student. Student is not paying Pythagoras. Karasha? So the student also felt Karasha. So after few lessons, even without his knowledge, spiritual bent of mind developed in him. Because Pythagoras is a grand master, he knows how to tune. So then one day Pythagoras told, I can pay you no more. I can't pay you money anymore. If you are interested, you learn, otherwise you can go. So by the time student dive deep into that wisdom, that he don't want to leave master, he wanted to continue that wisdom. Then he told, master, you need not pay me anything, just teach me. I will do some other work for my livelihood. Then after a few more months, Pythagoras told, see, now there is no more money left for my survival. So I can't teach you. This is all to test the student, to know how interested he is. Then the student told, master, you need not work for yourself. I will work for you also. I will earn money for both of us, so that we will not have any problem for food, shelter. So I will help you in that. See how he brought disciple to, how normal person to level of disciple. He is just a normal person playing game. But now he turned him into a disciple. who is not able to live without receiving teachings. So even at that level, when this person is a normal man, Pythagoras could see that he is one of those right persons who can receive wisdom from him. So that is how master finds his disciple. So that person, while playing games, he would have never expected that I will learn all this spiritual wisdom. So still we will see more examples while we are studying his life. So after few years, he established a school in Crotona. This is in Italy. So there also he could attract more and more people. But he never taught to a bigger group. He has two kinds of groups: esoteric group and exoteric group. Esoteric and exoteric. Esoteric means higher wisdom, and exoteric means like mathematics has two sides. One is for our normal life and one is the higher science. Exoteric means related to this physical. So people who had fancy to tell that I have attended Pythagoras lectures, I know him very well. He used to allow only into this exoteric group. So only selected few of this group, only for selected people, he used to give esoteric teachings. He used to observe. So first, when a student comes to him, he asks him to draw a triangle. So seeing the triangle drawn by him, seeing the triangle drawn by the student, so he knows what level of evolution he is in, what kind of training has to be given to that student. So then he used to give him organizational work, like arranging for his classroom and helping others in cooking. Like this, he used to give different works in ashram. He never teach directly the spiritual wisdom. And another instruction is the student has to listen in silence for 5 years. Student is not expected to ask any questions in these 5 years. He has to follow what the master has said, that's all.
Он должен следовать только тому, что говорил мастер, и это все.
If you are ready to do, you can stay, otherwise the door is open.
Если вы готовы так делать, вы можете остаться. Если нет, то можете в другую.
He is not concerned about how many students, how many disciples he has. He wanted to teach right people.
Он хотел обучать правильно.
So after these 5 years,
И после вот 5 лет
he trained them to talk very less,
он учил их говорить очень мало,
talk meaningfully.
говорить минимум.
So if there is no need, you should not talk.
То есть нет никакой необходимости, которую мы должны говорить.
Only when it is useful to us or to other person, we have to talk.
Говорить нужно только когда необходимо для нас или для другого человека. Больше никакой нужды в разговоре нет.
Otherwise, silence is better.
В любом случае тишина лучше.
So then he used to observe the students while they are eating, laughing, how they are behaving with other people.
Затем он
He used to observe.
он наблюдал за своими учениками, когда они обучались, когда они работали, когда они кушали.
So student has to come at the exact hour, exact minute when he has said.
И ученики должны были приходить в точное время, в точную минуту, которая им была назначена.
If he is late even by 1 minute, he used to cancel the session. So it was very difficult for students to get training from him. So after 1 year and 2 years of training, many people used to leave. And he is never spared in matters of conduct. Conduct means way of behavior. Conduct means way of behavior. He never spared.
Suppose the other does not behave properly, immediately he is sending a care.
So the people who are trained under him and has completed this discipleship, they are also called by the same name, Pythagoras. So this Pythagoras is a title, not a name. So in Indian scriptures also, if you see Ramayana, there will be Agastya, there will be Vishwamitra. And similarly, if you read story of Krishna, again you will find names of these sages. And there is some 1 million years gap between these two. So if you read with normal understanding, then you will see how can a person live for 1 million years. But these names are titles given to the kind of work they conduct. So the same plan is continued by people. Same plan of work is continued. That doesn't mean they have the same physical body. Similarly, Pythagoras is also a title given. To that seat of wisdom. So people who trained under him, they are also called with the same title. So one person who got rejected like this from Pythagoras school, one person, he is very prominent person in the society. He got angry with Pythagoras He didn't finish. He is rejected. He is. So this rejected person, he got angry with Pythagoras. So once when Pythagoras is giving lectures to his students, he burnt that house along with Pythagoras. So there are several stories that some say that Pythagoras was burnt in that fire. And some people say that he got saved from that fire. So his students have formed a bridge, human bridge, to go out of that house. So those students offered themselves to fire but saved Pythagoras. And Pythagoras left his body later. So tomorrow we will see some more details in life of Pythagoras. Vasudeva.